Jackdaw rooms, take 2. So, again, we're going to the Abyss. Tier 2 Agitated Darks with my Jackdaw fit. And let's see what rooms we get this time. First ones were Tessella's, and Rodivas. Second was Vedmak Damovic. And the third was the Marshal room with no Marshals in it. Because it was Tier 2. Alright, this is actually a terrifying room for Tier 2. It's not going to cause us any issues. I like that they're on the other side of a blue cloud. I also like that there's a medium range deviant over here. We don't need the deviant, but we're going to go over here. I'm going to start shooting these blast lance and make them dead. They can actually do a fair bit of damage when you have a bunch of them. It's so little health left. It's not a huge threat for Tier 2, but it is something to be aware of for the higher tiers. When you get something like this, where it's all DPS and a couple webs, it can become an issue. Heck, still might here. I'm just not really expecting it to. See, so close. 2% structure. Okay, shield boosters on. That might have been while they were going through that blue cloud too, by the way. Let's approach there. Alright, we managed to get 4 different rooms right off the bat. That's fantastic. Okay, so we can see my shields going down a little bit. Not enough that we're concerned in any kind of way. If it was going down in such a way that you were concerned, then you would absolutely switch to defensive mode. You just click this little button here, and all of a sudden you would be much harder to hit. Here, I'll do it anyway. We don't need it by any stretch of the imagination. But what it does is it makes it so your ship appears smaller than it is normally, and you have 33% more resistances, because the 33% more resistances wasn't a good enough thing on its own. It also has to make it smaller so that you don't get hit as much. There are times in here you will absolutely have to switch between all 3 modes. So be aware of that. It's a thing. You must do it. Must do it. Okay, so our current value is 24 mil. That's not what I want to shoot at, but that's okay. There is 1 DPS and 1 snarecaster left. Now, that's not to say the snarecaster doesn't do DPS, 3 million. But it is to say that the snarecaster doesn't do any amount of DPS that I care about. Blast Lance 50, snarecaster 7. Blast Lance 20, snarecaster 7. Like, yeah. That's why we normally target the DPS guys first. Okay, that was a beautiful 3 minutes. Alright, I got to stop this so I can start it again. Blah, blah, blah. Be right back.